What's good, Internet? My name is attackslug, and welcome back to my Let's Play of WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2006. We are rapidly approaching WrestleMania, and hopefully taking that title off of the game, Triple H. So, yesterday, single-handedly won in a tag team match playa, but without a calendar. Without a handy-dandy calendar, I have no idea how close I am to finishing out the Raw side of the season mode. Oh, right, I can still bring in the beautiful Trish Stratus. So, sure, let's do that. Didn't I lose that match against Edge and Christian, and therefore lost the services of Trish?
The coach made this match tonight between Chris Jericho and the #1 contender for the World Heavyweight title.
Drink it in.
I don't get it, JR. What's Jericho got to do with the issues between Triple H and the #1 contender?
Man.
I have no earthly idea what goes on in Jonathan Coachman's head. And I certainly have no idea why he made this match, King.
Good guy.
I think Coach is the only person who can make me nostalgic for Mick Foley's term as general manager.
Or else. Anyway, I welcome you to a fine Monday after the shocking events of Backlash last night and your new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, the Maharaja, Hardbody Mahal. I will get into some Backlash thoughts, but I have some news here before I even get into that stuff.
And the opponent, accompanied by Trish
Stratus.
From New Jersey.
Like,
the
what?
Man.
What even? I'm pretty sure I lost that tag match. I certainly lost those tag titles. And Trish decided to hang out with me anyway. That seems weird. But again, it seems like a lot of what I've done here in this season mode has not really mattered, win or lose. So honestly, I'm not that surprised. Oh, wrestling news, wrestling news. Welcome to Monday. Backlash was last night, but more importantly, to me anyway, to prove the point that I've been harping on for quite a bit now, as have any wrestling YouTubers have been harping on for quite a bit now. WCPW, the internet promotion, has canceled and refunded a bunch of their upcoming weekly show tapings. Because YouTube has decided that wrestling is not ad-friendly. Therefore, they ain't making anywhere near the money that it would cost to support bringing in a bunch of named wrestlers to do TV tapings. And the example they gave was that their free match they put up with Mysterio and El Patron, did over 1 million views and made $44. Now, for comparison, what you would average on YouTube, like the average if you're doing 1 million views, is about $1,000. So think about those views and that money across the board on wrestling, and then you understand that putting on wrestling and hiring guys to wrestle, and rings and crew and everything else, costs money. And if YouTube revenue is not there, then you can't do it. So, for everybody who complained about Grimm's Toy Show putting on a pay-per-view and charging for it, these things are not free to do. So, you know, when you are dependent on that income to make your shows happen, and that income dries up and goes away, guess what? Those shows don't happen. And WCPW is proof of that. Now, for what I do here, you know, I play video games, so the overhead, obviously, is a different scale. But I'm still trying to upgrade. I'm still trying to get gear. Just this year, things sound better because I bought this microphone that was $200. Where did that come from? YouTube money. Come on now. It's people don't understand things like the overhead that is involved with producing any kind of content. It's just, well, it's always been free, so therefore it should always be free. And that's fine as long as the ads are paying out, which, as of the last month and a half, they're not. It's a fraction of what it was. So, there's your big news story, at least for me, for wrestling in general, and very much tied into what I do here, is that, yeah, they had to cancel a bunch of free shows that would have been, you know, their stuff, and, you know, they'll still keep doing their pay-per-views, because, you know, they can charge for those, but in terms of, hey, weekly free content with guys that you heard of. It's not a tenable thing if you don't have the revenue to back it up. Now, of course, YouTube said, oh, well, we're still adjusting the machine, we're still adjusting the guidelines and whatever else, and it's like, yeah, okay, sure, fine. But, I have not seen any real results on that front, just yet, so. Anyway, the thing that you actually want to hear me discuss here, is the Maharaja, is your new world champion, Jinder Mahal. How in the hell did that happen? Oh, right, they're expanding into India, so that makes a lot of business sense. It is literally what is best for business. And Jinder is a guy, like, okay, if you had told me a member of 3MB was going to be a world champion, I wouldn't have guessed Jinder. I would have said Drew McIntyre, right? If you had told me a member of the Social Outcasts was going to be a world champion, I wouldn't have said Jinder. I would have said Curtis Axel. So, Jinder Mahal is a great example of right place, right time, right look. And I'm not saying he's a bad wrestler. Like, he's competent. He can get the job done. But he's never been a great wrestler. But right place and right look, and you can be world champion. It happens. You can be just good enough and just important enough. And, like, who else on the roster could fill that spot right now? For the India expansion. Like, it seems like they literally hired him back just for that. So, kudos to Jinder. We'll see how long he holds it, and we'll see how things go on SmackDown on Tuesday. Any kind of retaliation from Randy Orton and such. Speaking of which, Randy Orton throwing around the Singh brothers was hilarious. That justified that whole match. To me, anyway. I found it very enjoyable, and I was amused. That's kind of, you know, it's as long as you're entertained, that's kind of the only real important thing there is as long as you are entertained, because it's wrestling, it's entertainment, right? So, elsewhere on that show, outside of the shocking conclusion with your boy Hardbody Mahal, the AJ Styles Kevin Owens match was pretty much the best match on that card, although the finish was kind of junk, but whatever, it happens. As I kind of expected, nothing on that show was better than that UK match on Saturday night. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Why?
I'm surprised that Triple H and Flair couldn't keep their noses out of this. Of course, with noses like theirs, it's tough for them to keep them out of just about everything.
Please don't put me in a tag team match with Chris Jericho. Please don't put me in another tag team match. Just have Jericho start stomping on me, seriously.
Triple H,
I really would prefer to not be in a tag team match. Yep, alright, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I love it.
Woo! Woo! Sure. I'll take that instead, it's fine. How can he possibly win the title at WrestleMania now? He's so beaten up and battered and bruised.
Hey! The deal was that I'd stay out of the way after the match. I didn't say that you two should throw me out of the ring.
Deal? What's Jericho talking about?
Oh, what's the matter, Jericho? Did you get hurt taking a little tumble out of the ring? Were we too rough for you? Well, let me tell you something. You're gonna get it a lot worse than that when I give you the first World Heavyweight title opportunity after WrestleMania.
Not gonna happen.
So let me ask you. Was it worth a little beating? Or do you want to head home and cry yourself to sleep? Oh, it's absolutely worth it, Triple H. And don't misunderstand me. I can take whatever you dish out.
Man.
But if you try and double-cross Y2J, you're never gonna make it to WrestleMania, Junior.
I can't believe that Chris Jericho would sell his soul to that devil, Triple H.
At least he got a good price for it, JR. As long as Triple H retains the title at WrestleMania, Jericho's the next #1 contender.
Well. And now I'm fighting Chris Jericho again in a tables, ladders, and chairs match. Sure, why not?
Well, here comes the #1 contender for Triple H's title at WrestleMania. But at the moment, he's got his sights set on a little payback against Y2J Chris Jericho.
If you ask me, he's got more guts than brains, JR. He's going to WrestleMania, yet here he is demanding a rematch with Y2J. And not just any match, a TLC match.
I think I'll be okay.
There's that sellout Chris Jericho. I hope he's proud of himself.
You can't tell me that you'd do anything different if you were in his shoes, JR. Jericho wants to make sure his opponent doesn't show up at WrestleMania in any condition to win the World Heavyweight title.
That's right, King. If Triple H loses the championship, Jericho won't get his title opportunity.
Boomer Stoner. Now, one would assume that we're going to have a rematch for AJ Styles and Kevin Owens because of the count-out finish. That's usually how wrestling works, is that, hey, you didn't beat me in the ring fair and square, therefore we have another match. Which, sure, fine. That works for me. That match was pretty good. Elsewhere on the card, that Nakamura match was kind of flat. Like, I don't know who to blame there. Are they just saying, hey, don't go as all out as you were going on NXT? Or is it just not a good match for Dolph, who is usually pretty good at bumping his, self all over the ring like a pinball machine and whatnot? But, I don't know. That match, you usually, I thought, okay, that was the opening match. You want to have a hot opener for the crowd, fine, sure. And it just kind of fell flat. Like, the end was alright, but I don't know. It just didn't work. Certainly nowhere near the level of, oh, Ric Flair! Nature Boy. That Nature Boy. Ric Flair's got a table. Yeah, it just, I don't know. Like, nowhere near Sami Zayn and Nakamura at that first match he had at NXT. Like, nowhere near that. So I don't know. Bummed out. I think the most surprising thing, honestly, is that they had that the match with these 6 women. And I'm not surprised that the heels won. I'm surprised the heels won and Charlotte did not turn on her teammates. That was the most shocking thing of that match. Like, I wouldn't have called that. I think everybody's saying, okay, they're going to have Charlotte attack Naomi, etc., etc. So, sure. But it didn't happen. So, I was like, what? Why didn't that happen? Weird. But now I'm going to lose this match, because having to take a 10 with both... Oh, ref bump. Why even have a ref in the ring here? There's no pinfalls. It's TLC. But, yeah. It's weird. It's a weird bit of booking there. I still think the point of having Harper and Rowan fight was pointless. That match was kind of whatever, but that was kind of your breather match in between AJ Owens and the main event, which main event was kind of whatever. Like, it started hot, but then it was like, all right, well, this is kind of just a regular main event style match, I guess, and was not particularly spectacular. But again, if AJ Styles couldn't really get a amazing match out of Jinder, then I don't expect Randy Orton, who, Randy Orton's only really good when he's motivated, which is not often. And I can't imagine him being motivated to lose the belt to Jinder. That's just kind of, whatever. Anyway. My God. My God. What? No. Jericho, no. Gonna punch you off this ladder, Jericho. It's going to happen. Nope. Gonna keep reversing it. Come on. Really? Oh, dear God. Almost through that table. Almost through that table. This match is like seriously. Winning this match would be a miracle. Because not only is it Chris Jericho, you also have the dirtiest player in the game to contend with at ringside. So, having all these weapons is not really going to help me as much as I would hope it would have in a regular singles competition. I need better competition. Haha. Just going to keep on reversing every single strike, and eventually the game will give me a victory over Jericho here. What? I'm getting all these reversals, and it's not... Alright. Here we go. Now you get hip toss, Chris Jericho. Now you get the hip toss. And then, of course, Flair immediately... What is Flair even doing? Screw it, man. Is there a belt here or not? I thought there was... Well... Woo! Ref on the table. I mean, it's a TLC match, which means that you should have some kind of a something, right? Can I just pin Chris Jericho? I haven't tried, to be honest. I haven't tried. I thought I couldn't. I thought there was something to get a briefcase or a contact or something on the... Great. Great. I'm very confused right now. We're having a TLC match, but where's the payoff? Like, what's Flair doing? I'm trying to pin Jericho, and... Like, yeah, I don't think I can win pinfall submission. It's a TLC match, right? So, what is... Just pin him. Oh, I can pin him. That was weird. That was... weird? So you're booking a TLC match with legitimately no reason to ever climb the ladder, because there's nothing to go climb and get.
I never thought I'd be happy to see the coach.
Oh, Nate.
Stop right there. What do you think you're doing, Jericho?
Losing.
First you orchestrate an attack on my #1 contender after your match last week. And then you double team him here tonight? And for what? A title match against Triple H after WrestleMania? In case you've forgotten, the coach is the general manager of Raw.
Interim general manager.
Thanks,
You
JR.
beat me to it, JR.
And that means the coach calls the shots around here. So Jericho, Flair, get the hell out of my ring before I lose my temper.
Now watch
And
Coach start stopping me.
You don't want to be in the ring with the coach when I lose my temper.
Looks like Coach knows more than he can chew.
Good job, Coach.
I can't say I'm sorry to see it, but I am sorry to say
Good stuff.
that it looks like Triple H's
I'm not going to
henchmen
complain.
are still running the
Feel
show
free to
here
appear
on
up the
Raw.
coach.
What did Coach
Come on now.
expect? Talking to two former world champions like that. If you want to order Raw superstars around like that, you'd better be able to back it up. Say, that gives me an idea.
What are you talking about, King?
I'll tell you later, JR. But first, I've got to give Mr. McMahon a call.
Sure, yeah. That's fine. Anyhow, that wraps up a fine Monday here for this show. I'm very curious to see what happens on SmackDown this week. I really am. So that's kind of the goal, is they got you curious as to just what in the blue hell is going to happen on SmackDown. So that's kind of how wrestling works. Anyway, I'm attackslug. Thanks for watching. More videos every day. And I'll see you next time right here on this channel. And I'm out.